Last time out, I added some terrific tanker trains to the network, completing the first phase of the project to remove trucks from the roads. Our rail network is in really good shape now, so let's use this as an opportunity to start expanding southward, beginning with a huge new passenger hub at Paignton. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to From Steam to Electricity here on Transport Fever 2 as that train departs. This train is going to be somewhat integral to what's going on in today's episode, as is that train in the background there, I think. Oh no, not that one. Never mind, ignore that one. You'll notice here, we've got some carriage sidings here now, which look very awesome, if I do say so myself. I think they're a little high compared to the road, but I think they are actually level compared to the track, he says. Yeah, I'd say so. So I think it looks fine. You'll also notice there's a lot more trees being planted around here now. And, if I zoom out, we have a new loco depot. If you want to see how this was built, check out my second members exclusive video for this series over on the channel. I think you can find it just on the videos tab, or you can find it on the homepage of the channel. It's a good one, if I do say so myself. I need to turn these back on. There we go. Thought things looked a bit empty. We are rolling in money right now, so we might as well go and spend it all. What I'm going to do today, now that we've got basically this part of the map sorted, there are a couple more areas I think, like this long journey, is going to get removed at some point. The only reason it's still up now is just to bring more coffee berries into here. But saying that, I don't actually think we need them, right? Because the other one that's supplying us, let me just do that and that. This one here, I believe, has the ability, oh no, only 300. But there's so much waiting here that I don't see it being an issue at all, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Where does the food go? That must get brought down to Abingdon, right? Possibly. I don't know. The main thing I was going to say with all of this is these coffee berries can now be removed, which means all of these vehicles here will become surplus to requirements, because, I mean, look at them. There's so many of them. So let's sort this out first and foremost. I'm going to do that, and then manage line. Halt whistle 1. Goodbye. It was misnumbered anyway. And if that isn't annoying enough, I don't know what is. We're now going to renumber these, just so that we don't get confused. There we go. And all of these vehicles are now going to find their way to the nearest depot, which I guess in these ones' cases, yeah, up here, which is cool. We have a lot of vehicles on this line as well, but these are somewhat useful still. I believe a couple of them, or most of them, majority of them, is coal being brought up to here, and then grain getting brought back down here. So there's not really much we can do about that right now. Anyway, yeah, what am I doing? We're in a position where we can start expanding the railway, especially down through Blackburn, through Gateshead, and over to Paignton. Now, I remember talking a few episodes ago now about plans for how this would be achieved, and I still would like to achieve those plans. So, with that in mind, I think what I want to do first is build some stations and then connect those up. I think that'll be the smartest way to do this. So I'm going to actually start at the end and work backwards. Paignton here is going to be our starting point, and I'm sort of looking in this direction, and I think I already have an idea as to how I want this to look. This road is relatively flat. Yes, it is. I think what we can do is build a junction station outside of Paignton, somewhere over here, possibly with a freight yard already attached to it. We can then have a track that diverges possibly straight to head to, is it Shep's Head, however you say that, and then the other one will come around this way and down to Kirby Moorside. and then from there down to Woking, I assume, and then onwards to Tewkesbury. The one that goes through Shepshead would then go down possibly to Middlewich, round the mountain here to Newhaven, and then somehow work its way over to Enfield. Although Woking would probably be a junction point actually for Enfield, Tewkesbury. And then that one will come down to Wells by the Sea, Northallerton, join up again. And then, I don't know, possibly over to Tamworth, where it then all becomes one main line, I guess. I don't know on that bit. But what I do know is over here at Paignton, I want to have a junction station. So, first thing I'm going to do, pause the game, remove this road here. Fear not, good citizens of town, Paignton. We will rebuild your road. What I'm going to do temporarily is... Actually, let's temporarily build it around like this. No, that's still not what I want to do. What do I want to do, everyone? Let's build it... Whoops, not sideways like that. Why is it coming out sideways? There we go. We'll just do this. And then around like this. There we go. That counts as a fair connection, apparently. I thought they'd still complain, but I'm glad they're not. So yeah, we want to build a station here. This is a 4-track main line, so getting a station here with equal junction is not going to be easy. There may have to be like flyovers or something over here. Either that or... might have to be smart with how we do this. I just want to look at the topography a little bit. Again, it's relatively flat around most of this area. So I think I want to remove these roads here as well. As you can already see there, it's starting to fall away. The fact that that was starting to slope downwards suggests, yeah, station goes here on a junction, and then the main line will come in this way. So I've mentioned this before. From Towcester to Blackburn, that's pretty easy. We come round this way here, and then we just basically follow this hill, and then Blackburn station will be in this site here. Then we carry on in this direction, follow the contour here, round the back of this fuel refinery, and then curve around this way, and Gateshead station will run sort of east to westish here. That then opens things up to run this way, and then round into Paignton. Now, I was tempted to build this as an ultimate station, one of these. But I think actually it'll work fine as just one of these. I think so. The question is, Gateshead I think is just going to be a 2-platform station, as is Blackburn. And then we'll have the freight yards attached, obviously. There's a lot of construction materials coming out of here. That's going to be awesome. And also the sawmill here is going to be useful as well. And even this tools factory can almost do like a thing here. Oh, the options are there. But Paignton, I think, is going to be a platform for every line kind of station. That's cost me more money than I wanted it to. Saw that very late. Yeah, I think in terms of this, I mean, we could build one like this, I suppose. Overpass? Or underpass? I think with the topography, it's going to be an overpass, right? And then a large building. And I'm assuming I can add modules to this. Yeah, overpass. That is correct. Yeah. I think I have an idea for how I want this to look. But before I do that, I do just want to... So this here is the main road through the town, from what I can make out. So this is the one that's going to connect up over to here. So I think what I'm going to do is draw this out like this. Draw this across like this. And then here, you're going to come out like this, slightly downwards. This one is going to come out like this, slightly downwards. This is then going to connect up like this. Now, how does that look in the grand scheme of things? That, I think, is pretty much spot on. You are then going to attach to this road in roughly the halfway point, which is kind of here-ish. Although saying that, no, hang on. It's not what I want to do at all, because it's too low. So I think actually what you're going to do is just come out flat. Let's go 160 meters seems fine. You're going to do something very similar in this direction, but you're going to have to come out a little bit further. You're then going to connect up like that. Yeah, and then the main road here is going to go up and over. And that is a lot smarter, if I do say so myself. Right. Build. So this is Paignton Station. We now need to add some platforms, which is going to be interesting. I've never used this mod before. So far it seems good. I think that is fine. Just for this bit. I'm going to make sure that this is the correct type of track as well. And then another one of these. And then obviously more platform. Now here's a question. Is this actually what I want to do? And I think the answer is no. Where's the thing? There's the thing. Oh my days. Right. So here's what I want to do. I want to build this out, 2 more in each direction. I then want to build that there and that there. I then want to remove these. He says, I think we'll do it like that. So I need another one of those, and then I need platform there. Now I need tracks like this. I'm sure you can work out what's going in here. Yeah. I think that works better. These ones are going to be extended slightly. Or are they? Maybe in the... What direction's this? In the west, but not to the east. You can already actually see where the junction would branch off. That actually kind of fits quite nicely, I would say. Alright, here we're then going to do... something similar, although I think first of all these need to be joined up. What I think we're going to do here is offset the split so that these become 4 each, and then we'll do one of those there as well, and then that can go there, and then for this that can go there, and I guess that one will go there as well, and then we'll put something else over here. We could in theory put some bay platforms here as well, you know. Possibly. I think bus stops here though would be cool. Yeah. I think this is fine. And then here we're going to have track layout like this. Like so. And then same thing this side. Like that. Then we need to go and put these in again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just depends on how many tracks I've got left now. Seems to be enough. Like so. And then this side. I guess here we can put the offset back here again, can't we? So I need to put the platform in here, because I keep forgetting to do that. Like a Muppet. And then here, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I guess another couple like that, right? And I think this is our station layout. Now the question is, where the hell does this road go now? I think what it's actually going to do is curve this way and then go up and over, and then it can join up over there. And then on this side is the freight yard. So I think, yeah, overall, this works out quite well, if I do say so myself. Now, the one thing I don't like is the fact that this end is very flat and this end is quite pointy. So we are going to fix that momentarily. I think the way we're going to fix that is by doing this. And... oops. Doing something a little like that. So these are the longer express platforms here. These are the slightly longer express platforms here. And then we've got some longer stopping platforms. And then we've got some short stubby platforms as well. I am still very tempted to put some bay platforms in here. It's just, how are they going to work with everything else? That's a very good question. I guess there's one way to find out, and that's to actually try and do it. Do I build another couple? Yeah. The fact that it's letting me carry on building makes me want to do it, you know? Okay. And then let's put that there, and that there. I'm going to replace this one with this one, like so. And then over here, I'm going to build, yeah, in this direction. And here, it's going to go in both directions. And then here, here, and here. Although here, do I actually want it to do that? Yeah, no, I can do it like that. That's fine. We'll put benches and stuff in as well, because that looks kind of cool. I think we might come back to that. Can I put this at the end here? Yes, look at that. Okay, I think I'm going to put a building there. Oh, it's got shelters as well. This looks awesome. I already love this mod. Has that got... it puts holes in the shelter. Look at that. Yep, I'm in love. Consider me sold. This looks awesome. Brilliant stuff. Totally unrealistic, but absolutely brilliant. And I think further along here somewhere, there's like roof pieces as well, maybe. And actually, I do have access to the GWR stuff too, which is cool. But let's just do this for now. And then I want to build a passenger building. Probably a small one. Yeah. Could tuck it right in the corner there, which would be cool. And that connects those up, although not in the way I wanted. In fact, that's a step down. Although there are steps there, but not here. So this bay platform is inaccessible unless they use the bridge. Although I'm sure they'll just teleport through it, to be honest, because that's something that happens as well. Where's the roof pieces then? Have I skipped those? I must have unlocked them. When I say roof, I mean like an arched roof over the station. We don't appear to have one though. Okay. Well, we're just going to leave it like that for now. What I'm now going to do is realise that I could probably actually make these platforms here a little bit longer. Although we do need signals and stuff, so maybe not. If I do that, that's 80 meters. think it's one of those ones that's deceptive, you know? And you'll see what I mean in a second. So somewhere around here, probably under the bridge, I want to do this. Yeah, and already I can see what I mean by it's deceptive. Because these are 30-mile-an-hour crossovers, but they look quite long. And there we go. So we're going to maximize the full usage here. The reason I've built these a little bit closer than I have over here is so that we've got room for the signals before the bridge. That's literally the only reason. We're going to do something similar on this side as well. And then for the express platforms, we can be a bit more liberal. So here, you're going to come across, yeah, like that. I believe that's 30 on both sides. Looks like it is. Fantastic. Why can't I build this one across? Huh. That's somewhat interesting, isn't it? That one works. So this one should work. There we go. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky. But yeah, these are 30-mile-an-hour crossovers, which even in modern times is pretty good going for a crossover in a station. So can't really complain. And then here, in like that, in like that, in like that, and in like that. And what I mean by liberal here is, if I put the signals in first, so these ones we can put them basically wherever we like. One there, and then we can do the same thing here. Same thing on this side. Don't do the middle tracks for reasons that will become clear momentarily. There we are. And then for these tracks, if I put the signal in first, which is going to be there, and I will put one in here, even though it's probably never going to be used. And then on this side, right the way down here. There we go. And then that's the space we've got for our crossovers, which means we've got plenty of room. So if I did this, still not quite as much as I want though. 44. See, I was hoping for 45. That's 46. That's 45. There we go. And then here. Oh wow. Yeah, that doesn't even want to get built. Ooh, that wants to go across to there, but I want it to come down here. Something's not right there. Not quite sure what's happening with that. That one. Oh, there. There we go. Yeah, I think there was a little glitch there with track placements. These are basically unidirectional, but can be used to terminate trains as well, because over here, that'll all be handled. Alrighty. So now we can start working on this side of things. So what I'm going to do is parallel track, 2 tracks, and here we need it to be relatively flat to start with, like so. I think most of this is actually going to be built in a cutting, yeah. So let's do this. And then as it comes around here, we can start letting it do what it wants again. Cool. So then this section here, we'll do a little bit of parallel tracking. Mainly enough once the autosave's kicked through. Yeah, enough room for signals is what we want here. Like that and like that. And then from here we can start to see how this is all going to look. So from underneath this, I'm going to have one of these that comes across. Yeah, 45 I think is the magic number still. Build this one out as well. And then do the same thing here. It's interesting how that works with the speed limits actually. Cool. Now I can remove these pieces. Alrighty. This then becomes the basis for that. So somewhere around here it's going to cut in and do that. Although it's probably going to... I mean, if I'm being absolutely 100% honest, I kind of want to build an extra track piece. Where have the track pieces gone? You were. For this one only, I think we're going to do that. So we can have extra long trains in here as well. I think that's fine. And then again, I mean, 40 would have worked fine. Although the more I look at it, the more I want it to do this. And again, 45, not the end of the world. And then that one can come in. Like that, I suppose. And then this one can stay parallel for a little bit and then come around like this. Now for these tracks here, I want one to come off. Oh, that looks good actually. I don't mind that. And then that one there. Okay. So this is going to carry on running parallel here. As is this one. Yep. And then here, what we're going to do is that one's going to come in like the. Actually, no, this one is going to come across to over here, I think. Is it actually saying that? No, it's not. This one's just going to come in like this. We can do, yeah, 35 is fine there. And then this one, 30 is fine there. Because again, these are bay platforms, terminating trains. We're then going to double slip this one. And then all we need to do is find a way to get these right-hand ones to also connect over to this left-hand line here. I think the way we're going to achieve that is maybe just a crossover here. We could do it up here. But I think actually, could we do it over here? I mean, that does work. We're not going to get it any faster than 28, are we? It does work, though. And then we double slip that. Yeah. I actually don't mind that. The only downside is if there's a train coming in here, this one can't leave. But then these two can't exactly go anywhere either. So, yeah, alright. What's going to happen here then is this is going to form this track here. What? Can't I snap? Let me snap. There we go. Cool. This one is actually going to become... Now that I know where this is running, I can start to work on this. This is going to be the track that comes in from this side. So I think for now, we're just going to do that. I think that creates somewhat of the right slope. It might be quite a long slope, but yeah, we'll go with that for now. We also now need to get these ones joined up, which is also another ordeal. I think here, what I want to do is this. You come out like that. This one comes out like this. Now I could in theory put another platform this side as well, but we'll see about that. From here, this track is going to become the running line. So you're going to come across, I guess, like this. You're going to come around through here like this. And like that. Sweet. And then this one is going to come through, I guess 45 there. Oh, 35 there was fine. Yeah, I saw that. And that one is a little bit tighter, so I might just curve this around to here. And then here, you come in. In fact, this one, I almost want it to do this. Yeah. Because we still need to get the junctions in here, of course. Right. From here, you come across, and 40 is probably going to be the minimum speed limit we want through here. And then for this side, 35 again is absolutely fine. Cool. This can become a scissor, like that. This one here, was it 35 I said was the golden number? Well, 30 is actually okay. Yeah. Just checking. There isn't going to be anything coming in from here that needs to go straight on. Although one can in theory with that one. Maybe, yeah, might have to make that a one-way platform just to avoid that. And then the only thing missing here is this. Alrighty. It's starting to come together. It's starting to come together. Now we've just got to do the separations on this side, which I think is going to be actually easier than I anticipated. God, look at the number of... Yeah, I don't like the way it counts. Although actually, if that's 9 and that's 10... No, it isn't doing the thing I thought it was doing. Because over here is going to be, yeah, 8, 10... sorry, that's 11 over there. And then 12 and 14. I thought it was counting these middle tracks, which I really didn't want it to do, but it's not. So, yay, that's cool. I do, though, want to, as well as having signals there and there, I do actually want signals here and here as well. And then on these outer ones. Yeah, see, this is where it gets tricky. So I think what I'm actually going to do is remove that and replace it with just track. Because it creates a nice fence along there, which I'm all for. Not a huge fan of the signage here. It's gone very literally King's Cross, which isn't quite the effect I was going for. But I like the platforms and stuff. They look cool. And the bridges look really cool. And I love that. The fact that the roof cuts a hole for the bridge as well. That's such a little detail, but yeah, I get the buzz off it. Right, there we go. So that's all signalled heading in that direction now. We've just got to sort out what's going on at this end of things. Which, I guess... let's build this out flat. So I think here, the main line, I think, is going to head down towards Kirby Moorside still. So everything here needs to kind of curve this way. I would say. I did not parallel track that like I was supposed to. And now I can't. Right, that's snapped. And then over here, that snapped. There we go. Maybe I was just clicking it in the wrong bit. What we're going to do here then is basically the same except slightly different. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is try and build this. We want some grade separation, but I think majority... I can't even speak. I think the majority of this is going to be at grade. Or at least these middle tracks are going to be. So, before we get too excited, let's just pop these in a row, like so. Now, we can draw this out and around like this. Uh, 70 miles an hour is probably fine for this. Although we'll aim for 75. Like that. And then, yeah, to get to Shep's Head, I think we're almost actually curving up this way to Loddon and then down and round. This isn't as flat as I thought it was going to be. So we could just tunnel through it, I suppose. I think that's a future problem for future me. Right now, it's a bit too faffy. You're going to go there. Now, these can all be handled by double slips. But I think for this one... Yeah, that's actually... No. What I wanted to do... before I commit to deleting that, let me just do this. Oh, God. I hate it when it starts getting funny. Why are you doing that? So weird. Just remove that piece. There. So you're going to do that. There we go. This is then going to come across and into this. We could say 55 actually is a good speed. If we can get to 50, that's a good speed too. No, 55. Like so. And then I think we actually want this to branch off and connect up over here as well. Oh, it's so close. Yeah, okay, hang on. I feel like I'm going to do a really violent sneeze as well. 1 second. Excuse me. Apologies. Not that you heard any of that, but still. Right. Oh, it's hay fever season for sure. It's my worst time of year. And I know there's a lot of creators who struggle at this time of year. And I have much sympathy with pretty much all of them. Let's do this. And then here, we're going to curve in. And again, I mean, 45 here I think is actually fine. But if we can get it to 50, yeah, 50 is good. Alrighty. We are still going to put double slips in here. And in fact, what I'm now going to do here is remove these lines, these outer lines here entirely. Like so. Although in doing so, I've just created a problem for myself. But I'm going to put that back in. The problem I've created for myself is trains here now can't access this line. So I'm just going to put this one back in again. Like a colossal idiot. 50 is fine. 51 is even better. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, that, I think, is a pretty good junction. I don't need to double slip that one. Yeah, it's just that one, which in theory I could have worked out anyway. If I just undouble slip that one a second. Why does it keep going the wrong way? That's something I don't understand with this game. It wants to come out this way by the looks of it. It cannot believe that there is a track there. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I think that is a better technique for building this, if I do say so myself. Right, this can then stay flat for a little bit longer. Although, to be honest, at this point, yeah, it could just stay flat forever. You know what I mean? Keep it at 75. So the trick here is one of these tracks needs to go up and over and round, and that's the problem. That's the challenge, as it were. So you need to stay flat as well, so you can't actually fit under there right now. But I suppose what we could do, because I'm happy with the placement of this station now, so I think what I'm going to do is build this road in as I want it now. Again, we've barely spent any money on this project so far, which I do think feels a little cheaty, but it's not for my lack of trying. Right, so that needs to go there, and you need to be like that. I think that's a bit too high. There. Here I think you can just be flat now, right? Looks like it. Let's here curve it this way slightly. And then, yeah, this can be like a small viaduct kind of thing. Although, yeah, that's not going to work, is it? I mean, we could just make you this. I want like a proper top-down view here, guys. There. And then this can be like this. Maybe. And then this I want to be like this. Sure. And then I want another little tiny bit where it's this. And then I think at this point we're going over the freight yard. So something like that maybe. Oh good, you have supports. So that doesn't, that does. So we can kind of build it based off of that, I suppose. And then here, interesting that it doesn't just, let's try that. Yeah. Don't like this bit, but I don't really know how to get around that right now. Let's connect this back up because this will be integral to our plans later on. Okay, let's assume that that is how I want this to look. Even this bit I'm not 100% happy with, actually. Now I know how this is all going to connect up. I suppose what I could do is make this flat and like this to about there, and then from here Yeah, that I think looks a bit better. And to be honest, even this bit, I can actually make it just do that. So it's already on an embankment viaduct thing. Then it goes into this bridge. Then it goes into another viaduct thing. Then it goes into a bridge. Then it goes into a viaduct thing. Then it goes into a bridge. And then it just comes down the other side. And even this side, I'm actually really tempted to rebuild it. Seriously? Yeah, works in that direction. Like that. I can see this road bridge getting rebuilt like 100 times throughout this. I'm not that fast. We could put a bus stop here then. We could definitely put a bus stop over here. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking this is actually the viable place for it. This can then all get developed as buildings and things. And then over here is the freight yard and the trucks can go on this side. I'm happy with that. That's cool. Right, last thing to do then, for this episode at least, is to get these tracks in. The slow tracks. That was not supposed to be parallel. Although, now that I've done that, I'm not against the idea of just leaving it. Doesn't harm anyone, does it? So, here, we've got a couple of things going on here. We need to get a slow line from here over to here. We've also got to get one of these lines over to here. We then get one of these lines over to here and then a slow line over to here. How do we do that? I think this side up and around there is going to be maybe slightly easier. Possibly. But we still need to join all these up here first. Maybe we don't, actually. Maybe we just rely on this set of crossovers. I mean, that works. So we can have a train leaving and a train arriving, in theory, at the same time. Yes, but, I mean, we have 4 platforms here, and if we do put platforms on the other side as well, which I am now very tempted to do, and we've got the space for it. Let's do this. And then this one will go there like that. And then this one here becomes a bit more prominent then. Yeah. Let's also put these ones here. Okay, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, this is better. Better than what I had in mind. So I want that to run to at least there. You out alongside it like so. And then from here. So yeah, where that one runs in. What do I want it to do? I think I actually want to redo this slightly. But I'm not entirely sure how. I think actually what I want to do is that. You cannot be telling me that that's not a viable connection. There we go. And then this one. So actually, let's try that again. You out like this. And then you like that. There we go. That's a good speed. Don't mind that. And then in theory, this runs parallel to both of these, right? So what if I just put another like head shunt in here? And then just connected that in over here somewhere. Just for now. And then we can put more signals in. There we go. 6. That's cool. That works. Over here, you can go straight across like that. You can go straight across like this. Now, I might have grossly overestimated how big a interchange Paignton's actually going to become. But, I don't know. We're going to have trains from lots of different directions coming through here at one stage, I'm sure. And I'm sure this would become a high speed. Oh, that's not correct. I'm sure this could become a high speed interchange as well. So, you never know. Alright, you need to go to there. 30 in each direction. And then you... Oh, please. Come on, game. Hang on. If I was to build something just out like this. There we go. And then remove this. Okay. So that's all connected up there. That's all connected up. In theory, if I was to join this up now all the way through here to Towcester, we could start running trains on it. Cool. Still need to work on this side though. How long have I been going for? 50 minutes. So I need to start wrapping this up soon. I think, first and foremost, we build that out to there. These then... Excuse me. I keep giving myself hiccups when I'm recording as well. It's really annoying. So if this one comes around like this, we'll say 35. That's fine. You can join up basically in a straight line, but I'm going to bring you around this way a little bit. So 35 and 35. That's fine. This one can then come around like that, and then this can come across. Oh, hang on. I've not left myself room for signals. Your donut mark. What on earth is going on there? What on earth is going on here? So that, and that. This one is going to come around and snap. So we could probably have that be like 40. You can then come around here. If I can get it to 30, I'll be happy. I can't get it to 30. Might be able to if I just built this around. Because that is basically that approach line now. Let's put these signals in first, actually, because that will dictate quite a bit. Like so. And then out from underneath this, this one here needs to come right the way across. Kind of like that. As a speed. This one I'm then going to remove entirely. And then this is going to become the track that hops up and over, I would say. Because it pretty much has access to everything at this point. We just need one more little piece, which is going to be, hopefully, a crossover from here to there. Look at that. Alright, that was relatively easy. I could even go one step further and build something from here over to here where I won't need a double slip. But I think for now, we'll just keep it simple. We'll make this a double slip. Nice. So yeah, this now is going to be the up and over line. So let's build it. 40 is a good speed, I would say. And then keep it coming round. Is that high enough? That does actually look high enough. It's really annoying that it's not high. Ah, there it's high enough. Okay, does it need to carry on? Whoops. Yeah, I think it does need to carry on being that high. This is a descent anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Keep it coming around like this. For this bridge here, we'll go with a red one again. There's that autosave again. Okay. So now what's missing is the departure line from here. So from here, if I now have this snap to the ground, in fact that is relatively flat, so we could probably get away with that, right? Maybe not. What I really need is this to carry on coming around like this, and it can actually start climbing at this point, so that's fine. Oh, I feel like I'm so close to getting this exactly how I want it. This line over here can now start climbing as well. So you're going to come around like that. This one, whoops, is going to come around like that. Then I think the fourth one is almost going to come... maybe if this went straighter, this could have come up and over both of these and then come down and joined up with this one. I think though, in the grand scheme of things, this worked way better than I thought it would. Way better than I thought it would. I think for this, what I'm going to do... Oh, that's almost too tempting to pass up as well, you know. The fact that this goes into 2 tracks here, and I think it's going to stay 2 tracks here, makes me want to stick to this as a commitment. Then I almost want this one here to come around like this. Like that. This one is then going to carry on straight. Yeah, from here. Like this. These are going to be carriage sidings. We'll just put some eye candy stuff in. I think that would look cool. This is kind of just going to sit by the wayside for now. What I need then is... Let's build that to like there. And then off of this, we're going to have... From, let's say, here. You're going to curve around to here. What is that in length? 193. Let's take it to 180. There you go. And then, in theory, that means this one is also going to be 180. Or there or thereabouts. I think it's going to be slightly less because of the curve. And then this one, again, slightly less because of the curve. What does this look like if I then bring it all the way over? Crap is what that looks like. So I think what I'm going to do is... You're going to come in like this. And then this is going to carry on out to somewhere like this. Could even do it like that, but I'm not. I'm going to do it to like here. And then this one come in like this. Alrighty. Now, this line is going to come into that one there. Yep. This... Oh, you've got 3 lines. That's actually kind of annoying. We're going to create whatever nth line this one is. Like this. This is actually going to be the... it's going to connect like that. I want to remove this a sec. And I want you to come into here. Actually, no, I don't. I want you to come into... I've not left room for signals again, have I? Let's just do that a second. Let's just remove those as well. Actually, are these... Right, these two here need signals first. Then we can worry about the rest. So in theory, you can have one there as well. And then, I guess these three. So you're going to do that. You're going to come across to like here, and then you're going to do... Well, it will be that in a second. Let's get these in first. So one there like that, one there like that, one there like that. Okie dokie. This one's going to come back in. Yeah, so you're going to be funny now, aren't you? Of course you are. Part of it might be the angle. Oh no, because you're now working. So that's now 30. That's fine. This can just carry on around to there now, I would say. This one can join... I guess that one then. Cool. Can this one reach over to there? Yes, it can. Okie dokie. That one over to there is going to be tricky. It could, in theory, come out to here, though. Problem I've got is... These outer platforms are now only accessible on the flyover, which actually I don't mind, as long as these two here can also get across. So I suppose what I could do is this. Get it as close as I can. There. You then become a double slip. This one then becomes a double slip. That one needs to become a double slip. And that one needs to become a double slip. And then I think, besides a crossover... Well, this one needs to get across. I think if I did this one first... Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Need to get one from here. Over. Or do I, actually? No, I don't. What I do need to do, though, is get one over from here. So what I've done is built this one in the wrong place. Oh, I'm so going to regret this, aren't I? Yeah, it's this one I need to get over. Oh, there. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. And then you. Double slip. You. Double slip. And then, believe it or not, that one. Actually, that one doesn't need to be. None of these need to be, really, because these are all sidings. But yeah, we'll just, for the sake of realism, we'll do that. So now, both sets of platforms here, both sets of platforms here are accessible from this line here, which is going to be the main line, which is somehow going to hop up and over here and down and round. And already it's going off in completely the wrong direction if it follows this. So what we need to do here is cut all these back, and then here, and I'm hoping I can get this in before this episode runs out of time, that is. 45 is a good speed. If I can bring this around at 45. Yes. Is that high enough? That looks high enough, maybe. No. See, that, to me, is high enough. Now, I think I've got, yeah, bridge anywhere. Is that now going to... No. Damn it. So near, yet so far. The annoying thing is, this was on a good trajectory until that. So I need to do that. Now you need to come around 45. It's going to be like there. So this needs to carry on now. Whatever it was you were doing. But because you're now climbing as well, that just makes this tricky. think here you are going to have to be quite steep, otherwise you're not going to make it. And even now I'm thinking you're not going to make it. Oh, you're so annoying. It's almost like actually this here should branch off and just curve around. And maybe this doesn't need to exist at all. Why don't I just do that? Because this is 2 lines now, yeah. So what if I just had... Yeah, we're going to start this again. Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, guys. We so nearly got there as well. Why are you telling me construction not possible? That's interesting. I had that for a while. Right. Remove that as well. Is this the dead... No, that's the dead end one. I'm going to remove that just so we get this how we want it. So that one we're going to remove, and that one we're going to remove. Why can't they all just be uniform? Why do they have to be so bloody annoying? You, to there. Done. So we've got 4 lots of carriage sidings here. That can easily now become 6. Possibly even more. There's also the fact that there are freight lines that will have to come up and over this as well at some point, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking these are mainline platforms, so if we can just take this one here and bring it around like so. Somewhere here there must be a point where we can cross over. I'm almost wondering if... Yeah, this is the problem. This track here. So if we just remove you a second. This one can now do that. Excellent. And then from here, we could in theory have you connect like this. And then from here, we could in theory have a line that connects like this. You're doing your weird thing again. There. Can I get it to 50? Not really, no. So I think 45 is probably fine for this. Yeah. This line here can then come across like so. And then that can become a double slip. This then needs to come in. Oh, you are causing lag. Alright, hang on. Because I feel like I've used up my allocated junction there if I do that now. So what I need is this one to come in like so. And then this one to come in like so. And then this one, I guess... Oh, I didn't put the bloody signals in again, did I? You will fit, though. Yeah. Phew. Okie dokie. Let's say this... Actually, no. Let's say this one, then, join to there. Just how do I get this one now connected? Because if I do that, I suppose that does work, right? And then that one can go to like here. And then this one even can connect up over there. Or better yet, that one can connect up over there. And then I guess if I can get this one to connect up like that. It's not the best, but it will work. This can then form a connection here. Like so. And then that one, I guess, can join up to that one. Yeah. These two... So this one here still needs to join up, which it can do like this, I guess. If that can become a double slip, which it can, that's excellent news. I think that is what it needs to be. And then for signals, I can just put one there, and then one there. Sure. It's a bit staggered, a bit offset, but that's fine. This is then a double slip. That one's already a double slip. That one then becomes a double slip. And then there's no others. Oh, this one needs to become a double slip as well. I think. Actually, that one, not so much. No. Okay. And then over here, I think we're going to have 3 carriage sidings and a through line, by the looks of it. So if I draw you now to there, these 3 here are going to form a carriage siding, and then this one is the main running line, I would say. But then, depending on how these connect... What did I just select? This one, wasn't it? There. Let's do that. Alrighty. I think I'm going to have to go away and do some thinking on this one. Otherwise, this isn't going to be very successful. So yeah, I'm going to go away, I'm going to do some thinking. Next episode, I'm going to have a solution to this problem as to how to get all of this working. So until then, folks, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.